Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of the Cronkite File. I'm your host, Colette Stein, and today, I'm also your weather girl. We are starting out the week right with clear skies and sun in our eyes. The average high in Phoenix this week is 85 degrees, and you better start breaking out those bikinis, ladies. Ladies, I said ladies, get it together, Matt. Because on Wednesday, it's going to hit a high of 92 degrees, following a lovely 88 degrees on Tuesday. But don't expect clear skies all week, because the clouds are coming. Even though it will still be in the low 80s Thursday through Saturday, the clouds will be covering that beautiful Arizona sun of ours. Now to national weather. It's staying nice and warm for the lower region of the United States, all the way from Dallas down to Miami. Let's see LA at 86, Dallas at 76, and Miami at 80 degrees. But the upper region of the United States, well, things aren't looking so hot. The temperature is remaining quite cold. We see temps of 53 degrees in Seattle, 37 in Chicago, and 56 in New York. That's it with the weather. Now let's throw it over to sports with Anthony Luna and Chancellor Johnson.
Last weekend, for many people across the nation, it was filled with chocolates, dates, and flowers since it was, of course, Valentine's Day weekend. But for many basketball lovers across the nation, it was All-Star Weekend. And for that, we turn to our NBA insider, Anthony Luna.
Thank you, Chance. I'm glad to be here.
Of course. Over the weekend, it was a star-studded event. Of course, we had the three-point contest, the skills challenge, and, of course, the dunk contest. Give me some of your biggest takeaways from the weekend.
The All-Star Weekend was fantastic this year. The NBA did a great job in putting it all together. The Skills Challenge was great. Karl Anthony Towns put up a show for us against Isaiah Thomas. It came down to the wire. They had a miniature three-point contest. I thought that was very entertaining to watch. The dunk contest was great. The All-Star game was great. Russell Westbrook put up a highlight reel.
Right.
LeBron James was a character out there. He was slapping the floor trying to get Kobe Bryant to take him on one-on-one, and you could even see Drake standing up in the crowd right there on the sidelines. But like I said, the dunk contest was the best part of it. It was one of the greatest moments I've seen in NBA All-Star history. Zach LaVine versus Aaron Gordon. Both men put up such a great fight. I've never seen anything really like it. I'm extremely proud of the NBA for finally putting together something that brings in all fans, no matter if you watch NBA regularly or not.
Right, definitely. Speaking of Aaron Gordon and the dunk contest, a lot of people felt that Aaron Gordon should have won. Do you agree? And if so, what changes need to be made in the future to make sure that the right winner is picked next time?
Well, Aaron Gordon was definitely the winner out there. I think you can see from when he sat down in the air to dunk the ball over the mascot. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in my entire life. He had the hoverboard on. He was doing a 360. Aaron Gordon pulled off the best show out there. Zach LaVine, he had great dunks too, but it was just under the legs, and it was nothing we've really not seen before. Aaron Gordon, for being out there for his first time, coming down from U of A, he did such a great job. Put on a show for everybody. Even from the beginning, he came out in his suit and tie. But so in the future, to combat that, I think there's a lot of pressure that gets put on the judges, and there's a lot of time constraints that I feel like gets put on. The crowd definitely adds to that pressure as well. So I think the vote needs to come down to the fans at a later round, like this year when we had the overtime and a double overtime as well. A fan vote needs to come down, and that will truly decide who the people want to see.
I definitely agree. Now the trade deadline is fast approaching. Tell me, what big names could you possibly see on the move?
Well, there's a lot of rumors swirling around the NBA right now of Dwight Howard leaving the Rockets. The team is in not that great of a shape ever since they fired Kevin McHale. A lot of people are saying that was a big mistake, and Dwight Howard seems to be unhappy once more down there in Houston. There's teams such as the Celtics who've got picks to trade away. They could use a big man. That team is very small and also young. Dwight Howard has the perfect opportunity to win a ring there. I think he'll be on the move. For places people such as Blake Griffin, though, I don't think he should be moving at all. He's a big name. He's got a big contract. He's got a lot of dramatic influence in the locker room, whether you take him away or whether you add him. So going to the Nuggets, like people have said, I feel that is pure just rumor. They would have to trade away most of their starting team to acquire Blake Griffin. That's not something that I can see happening in the future.
Now, you're certainly right. The Rockets have been a disappointment for most of the season, but one team that has not has been the Golden State Warriors, who only have 4 losses on this season. Tell me, do you think they can break the single-season record for most wins in a season?
The Warriors definitely have it in them. They haven't let off the gas yet. If they made it halfway through the season to the All-Star break, they can for sure make it to the end. The Bulls didn't do that. The Bulls didn't let off the gas. They didn't take anything away, traded no players, let nobody go. The Warriors did the exact same thing. They have tons of chemistry in that locker room. They're a tightly knit group. Their coaches are fantastic. There's nothing that's going to take them away. It'd have to come from the inside, but I just can't see that happening. They're just an upbringing of fantastic young players. They've got great attitudes. They're not going to be stopping anytime soon. They're going to break that record.
For sure. Now we're throwing over to Josiah and Brad, who are at Farrington Stadium over the weekend on ASU women's softball.
I'm Brad Sherman, alongside one of Cronkite Finals' best softball analysts, Josiah Destin. Now, ASU is hosting the 32-team Kajikawa Classic, and the 22-ranked Sun Devils have continued not to disappoint, going 4-0 so far, beating the likes of Utah State, San Jose State, 8th-ranked Tennessee, and as well as East Carolina. Now, what have you liked from the Sun Devils so far this tournament?
Well, I actually got the chance to come to the games on Thursday and got to see the Sun Devils beat Utah State. But surprisingly, they took a 1-0. They were actually down 1-0 to Utah State early on in the first inning, but then they were able to get in the groove, get back, lose those nerves, and beat Utah State 11-1 on a 5-inning mercy rule. Next game, I actually got to call the game alongside another Cronkite File analyst, Alec Hendon, and the Sun Devils beat the San Jose State Spartans 8-0 on another mercy rule, which set them up for number 8 in the nation, University of Tennessee Volunteers. Against Tennessee, Maha pitched an incredible game, and they were able to beat Tennessee barely in the 8th inning off a walk-off wild pitch. You know, it was a weird way to end the game, but they got the W. After that, they cruised on to beat East Carolina University 9-1 on another mercy rule, making them 4-0 so far in the tournament.
Well, there you have it here at the Cronkite File. Brad Sherman, Josiah Destin, back to you guys in the downtown Phoenix studio.
ASU women's softball is off to a really hot start this year.
Hopefully they can keep that up. Back to you, Colette.
Thanks, guys. He's got a new clothing line, a new album, and a new baby. Kanye is really living up to his name and taking over the entertainment universe. Here's Jade with more on Yeezus.
Finally, Kanye released his latest album, The Life of Pablo. The album has been much anticipated and was held off longer than expected due to Waves, one of the songs on the album that was fought for by Chance the Rapper. Many have mixed emotions about the album, some completely loving it and some hating it. People I've spoken with say that the album grew on them just after a few listens. Maybe even more newsworthy is that Kanye tweeted the day after his album release that he is possibly in debt by $53 million. The tweet read, "I write this to you, my brothers, while still $53 million in personal debt. Please pray we overcome. This is my true heart." Kanye ranked number 6 on the Forbes 2014 list of hip-hop cash kings, bringing in well over $25 million, not even including the money that him and Kim have to be bringing in together annually. But whoever really knows what's going on with Kanye anyway. But on a lighter note, aside from personal debt, the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue 2016 cover girls were revealed this past Saturday. The girls include Ronda Rousey, Ashley Graham, and Haley Clausen. Most of the talk has been centered around rookie Ashley Graham, who's labeled as a plus-size model even though she absolutely hates it. All 3 girls have different body types and represent many different women. Many are saying this is an empowerment to females everywhere. With the swimsuit issue of Sports Illustrated being so well known, adding a little spice to the cover couldn't hurt any.
Thank you, Jade. As you can tell, today we're switching it up a little bit. We have got 2 sports anchors, and we have Jade switching over from talking about Super Bowl 50 last week to talking about Yeezus this week. Let's go to Alexis Burdine and Austin Budney for the news and politics.
Thanks, Colette. In local news, a stabbing took place Sunday morning on a Valley Metro bus in Tempe near 1st Street and Rio Salado. Police said that a passenger on the bus was stabbed by another man after an argument broke out between the two. One man stabbed the other in the neck with a knife, causing a 5-inch laceration to the left side of the victim's neck, authorities said. The suspect was arrested and the victim was taken to a local hospital where authorities also reported that he remains in stable condition. There is a new attraction for thrill seekers. Arizona Zipline Adventures recently opened a 5-span course just north of Tucson. The short zipline allows you to soar through the air while traveling from spot to spot. This is the first of its kind in southern Arizona. The shortest and most enjoyable distance between 2 points is a zip line, and Arizona has a new destination to get you from here to there while dangling from a cable. And on to national news. This story may be a little lighthearted, but given that many people all across the nation celebrated Valentine's Day over the weekend, you can't help but embrace the holiday with a sweet story like this. Hayden Godfrey is a student at Skyview High School in Utah. The 17-year-old saved up for a year and a half to buy flowers for the 834 girls who go to school with him. It took 900 carnations and $450 for Godfrey to make sure that no one felt left out this Valentine's Day. And in world news, on Friday, it was reported that British authorities arrested a 16-year-old who was suspected of being a part of a group who had hacked into private email accounts of high-ranking United States intelligence officials. The group claims to be responsible for breaking into the private email accounts of both CIA Director John O'Brien and Director of National Intelligence James R. Clapper. American officials are continuing to investigate the roles of others involved, as well as what part the team may have played in the hacking. Over the weekend, Pope Francis traveled to one of Mexico's poorest cities, where he was placed at the center of the country's identity crisis. Hundreds of thousands of locals came to his mass, where he urged goers to not give in to pride, vanity, or wealth, later saying that they create a society of the few and for the few. He then urged for Mexico to turn its nation into a land of opportunity, in which he added that in doing so, there would no longer be a need to immigrate.
Well, Alexis, this Saturday, all eyes will be on South Carolina and Nevada. The Republican primary and Democratic caucus will be the first half of the final stage of primaries before Super Tuesday on March 1st. Donald Trump leads yet again in South Carolina, but with the resurgence of Ohio Governor John Kasich and former Florida Governor Jeb Bush in New Hampshire, this race is far from over. Florida Senator Marco Rubio rebounded after the disaster of performance he had in that state, taking on both Trump and Texas Senator Ted Cruz on issues like foreign policy and immigration at Saturday night's CBS debate. I think it's fair to note that Trump was booed at least 6 times during the course of the debate. 6 times, and he still leads the polls today. On the other hand, in Nevada, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton are still battling to break ahead in the dead heat of a race they're in. After Thursday night's PBS debate, it seems that Clinton's almost certain grasp on the nomination has slowly but surely slipped away and right into the hands of the outsider, Sanders. With only a small lead in delegates, Clinton seems to be entering desperation mode, in need of a serious win at this caucus if she wants to keep the confidence of voters. And on a more somber note, our thoughts and prayers go out to the friends, colleagues, and family of Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia, who was found dead Saturday at a West Texas resort. Investigators say he died of natural causes. Scalia was nominated by President Ronald Reagan and confirmed in 1986, being one of the more conservative justices on the court, but not in personality. He was 79 years old. That's it from the politics desk. Back to you, Colette.
All right, everyone, that's all the time we have for you this week. As always, we hope you have a great rest of your day, and we will see you next week. For more on the Cronkite File, visit cronkitefile.net for articles and more. I'm Colette Stein, and thanks for watching the Cronkite File.